Go New York, go New York, go. Go New York, go New York, go. Nets fan behind the camera. Just want to make sure we said that.
I respect that.
Respect it.
But
Go New York, go New York, go. Go New York, go New York, go.
Knicks, big win over Memphis.
It's a Knicks. It will be. It always will be. It is. It's a Knicks city. And I don't even care if the Nets are 5.5 games better than the Knicks right now.
We built this city on blue and orange.
Just like the Mets.
Yuck. Maybe.
No. 9-1 in their last 10 after that win streak was halted from that Suns loss. They've come right out, won 3 straight right off the bat. They played well last 2 nights ago against Memphis, and weird layoff. They had like 3 off days
Over the weekend?
like before they played Memphis. They played, what was that? They played.
Did they play
Oh my god, I'm like blanking because I saw their schedule and it was like super super weird. They played. They had like a 2 or 3 day layoff. Something that like I haven't really seen in a while. And I was like, all right, Memphis. They have Jaren Jackson. They have Jaren Jackson Jr. back. Ja's been playing out of his mind recently. He gets fucking tossed in that game, and he had some comments to say about the refs. He was like, I don't talk shit. He's like, I don't talk shit like you fucking do that. It was.
The referees weren't great. They have a really good young core, Memphis. Like, obviously. John Morant's the closest thing I've seen to Allen Iverson, to be completely honest. He's almost a carbon copy of Allen Iverson. Probably with more bounce.
Yeah, I mean, I never saw AI really.
He
could,
got
but
him.
like I don't think he was.
Well,
he was
not
going
like
coast to
Ja, not
coast,
like
straight
Ja.
up, and hammer down.
But like he's pretty close to Allen Iverson. But yeah, the Knicks, man.
Also, I feel like different game too, in the sense that like
course.
point guards weren't just like, yeah, I'm just gonna drive to the basket and face like.
Yeah, Allen Iverson. Was
I'm not gonna go 1-on-1 against a 7-foot Yao Ming or something like that to try and slam it down. The athleticism is obviously way different. But like you said, they get Burks back after the whole COVID layoff. They played well without him. They kept their head above water. They won, had a tough loss. He comes back and he's everything that he's been this season. Came right out of the gate fresh.
Certified scorer. Stamp it.
And D Rose. Is that an airplane?
Dude, that sounds low. Where is that?
It's going to the Westchester. It's going to the Westchester Airport, probably.
That's our flight to Miami.
What?
Anyway.
We're leaving out of LaGuardia.
I don't know.
Oh,
what
it's
else.
going to the Westchester.
Derrick Rose had 25 off the bench. 11 for 15 from the field. I mean...
Is this his best shooting season ever? Because it looks like it. It looks like it.
People think this dude's washed up. This dude is 32 years old.
Randall says he's got a great spirit.
Like, he's the perfect guy. Again, you bring him in because that's what Tom Thibodeau does. He goes, I ain't coaching a team without Derrick Rose on my team. I don't think he's actually said that, but he goes, I will not be coaching a team without Derrick Rose or Taj Gibson. I can guarantee you.
Taj gives good minutes.
Well, now Noel got hurt. I think it was like an ankle sprain or something.
Could be out for a few games.
So I would say Taj is starting. Pell is on the bench as your backup center that they signed to the 2-way deal, and obviously brought him on to the roster for the rest of the season. They have a tough road coming up, as I showed you. It's like full West Coast trip at Denver tonight, at Phoenix, at the Clippers, at the Lakers. Like, that's your next 4.
Spurs will give them a run for their money.
All right, and they play San Antonio.
They're no slouch. DeRozan's having a good year. But
right, they're the 10th spot, under 500.
But like not by much.
Right. They'll probably face the Lakers with LeBron. I think that he was said the other day they're going to miss 2 games. He's going to miss 2 games. I mean, maybe you see with the Clippers that the Knicks get lucky and they sit Kawhi or Paul George. You sit one of them. They've already clinched.
Please sit Kawhi.
Unless, obviously, you see here, they're only half game up on Denver. So, I mean, it looks like that the 3 and... Right? The 3 and the 4? No, it's the 4 and the 5. All right, never mind.
Dallas
so they'll probably
moved
fight
up.
for it. But it's like the difference between Denver at the 4 and Dallas at the 5 is 6 games. It's done. You know, like that's.
Right.
I don't think that's gonna get moved.
But yeah, think about just like how many guys can get it done for the Knicks. So you have Rose, you have Burks, you have obviously Randall.
You have RJ.
Then you got Quickly. Then you got Bullock. Like they were shooting lights out against
Reggie Bullock
lights
is
out.
the most underrated player like on this team without a doubt. Defensively, and the fact that he's giving you 3 to 4 3-pointers a game is just another cherry on top. Dude, I would say they started out 8 of 13 from behind the arc against Memphis. Just like
crazy.
And like and Breen was taught, you know, him and Clyde, like that's the biggest improvement. They're like 5th in the league in 3-point shooting percentage. Randall shot 28% from behind the arc last year, 42 this year. That's one of the biggest jumps in a year span, like ever in 1 year.
Just like having at any point in the season the number 1 defense in the league, the New York should throw a parade for that. That's amazing.
And people say, I mean, coaches, even if the opponent does beat the Knicks or you know, obviously if they lose, the first thing out of their mouth is like, that was the most like tough game I've played all season. They were so physical. Like they don't give a crap. They're like, I'm gonna bully the fuck out of you.
It's old New York, man.
Right, like amazing. Randall, I'm gonna get inside the post and I'm gonna put my shoulder in your friggin' mouth. Like I don't give a shit. And like they're not scared to commit foul. Like no, they're committing correct fouls, like right foul, and nothing's easy.
I even saw Obi he committed a foul.
It was a go on the fast break. He chased him down,
and like Clyde was just like, "Hustle, man! It's all about
right."
hustle.
Like it was a foul.
Like,
it was a good foul.
And Obi didn't have terrible minutes. He had a steal. He had a dunk.
He's played a lot better minutes over the past month.
He's a rook, and he's like nervous. I don't blame him.
And I don't think he's ever really found his role at the position.
No, because they were good this year.
I'm saying,
didn't expect
right,
that.
like with the minutes he was playing, couldn't get in a rhythm. I mean, Quickly's been better and he's played more for obvious reasons. They don't really have like that number 1 point guard. Rose has been great off the bench, but he's not starting. They've been starting Burks or even Quickly at the point guard. Like, there's a reason that he's been playing more.
Yeah.
And he's been shooting the ball great.
I don't know how he makes shots with that shot in the NBA. That should get blocked.
No, please tell me what you said.
Oh yeah, I texted Nikki yesterday, and Emmanuel Quickly is a great player, and his like physique also reminds me.
He's like long.
Quickly shoots like Jack Redsucker. If you're listening out there, Jack shoots like Jack, like this, but it goes in every time.
He's got like a straight on, like no over the top, but like a bing, like from like the chest. Bing.
So that should be a compliment to you, Mr. Redsucker, if you're listening. But he's a great player.
And Jay Wright, if you are listening, just don't think we ever forgot about that corner 3 at St. Augustine's in the tournament. We ended up winning that tournament. Yep, I remember that. That was at the buzzer. It was a halftime buzzer beater. I think it was. Yeah, corner 3. I remember it. Just want to make sure you knew.
Shout out to Jay Wright, man.
Shout out Jay Wright.
Look at Dallas there with the 5th seed. Where'd they come from?
Yeah, we need them to be bad.
I know.
With that pick.
I know.
With that draft pick.
I know. I'm just glad they have Kristaps and we don't.
Where do you think they end up?
The Knicks?
Do you think they stay at 4?
No, I think they drop down to 5, maybe 6. I'm really hoping Indiana doesn't have a late season surge because, they could be dangerous against us in the playoffs.
Sabonis is great.
Like, if they make the 8 seed and we're the 4, they could easily beat us. Sabonis is our kryptonite.
Well, so...
And they have LeVert.
So it's going to be 7-10, 8-9.
Oh, that's how the play-in works?
And then I think the winners get reseeded as the 7 and 8.
Okay, so... There's still a chance we could play them.
I mean, at the end of the day, I think that with that 4, I think it is looking, or it appears, it's going to be them against the Hawks. If you're going 4-5, if the Hawks jump them 4-5, because obviously the Sixers will play the winner of the 10, like whoever's the lowest.
Yeah.
And then the Brooklyn will play the lowest, and then Bucks, Heat, and then us, Hawks.
I butchered that. Why did I think the 4 seed would play the 8 seed? Obviously, they would play the 1 seed. Anyway, but yeah, could run into them, could probably won't. Anyway, even Brooklyn's got to be careful with if they play the Pacers. Because, like, they're a solid team that just hasn't gotten it together after the All-Star break.
Yeah, well, they've lost 3 in a row. And now, yeah, because they were the number 1 team in the East for, like last week, and now they're a game and a half behind Philly.
I really hope Philly makes the NBA Finals.
And I'm saying, and the Bucks just beat the Nets in back-to-backs, I think. So, because Bucks beat the Nets last night, I know that for sure. And they're only a game and a half behind Brooklyn.
NBA's regular season being late this year, it's going to be exciting.
And being 72, that's what, 9 less.
Playoffs are going to be exciting, let me tell you something. Even though they're going to be in the middle of July.
I was so hyped that I saw ESPN give out a playoff promo, and a New York Knick was in it. It gave me chill. I was like, shit.
I didn't see that.
I was like, Randall. It was Randall at the line. Just like, and
we deserve it.
Right. Usually, I'm blanked out. For me, it's baseball. I have interest in basketball still, and it's May. Thank you, Julius Randle and the New York Knicks. Are you worried about your Nets? You're not worried about your Nets.
I haven't watched in probably a week, honestly. But no, I'm not.
Hasn't watched them lose. Hasn't seen them lose.
Yeah, I wasn't even aware that they were losing until just now. I checked in yesterday, and they were losing by like 8 or some shit.
I wouldn't worry.
It's
they
okay.
have 3
They're
of the
fine.
top 5 players in the league.
Yeah, no, I'm not worried.
They're okay. And Joe Harris.
Joe Harris.
And Claxton.
Don't
That's your
forget
guy.
about
That's your guy.
Claxton.
We should get his jersey for him for